So I'm hoping, and I'm wanting your view on whether the meditation, as I keep going and deepening, that will keep helping my trauma to surface.
And it's a great question that you're asking. And the answer is yes, it will unwind all by itself. It's like a great unraveling, a great unwinding from the tightness of holding together the life of me and my story. And it's on three levels. It's on the level of mind, that identification, that contraction into a separate self. It's on the level of the body and the energy. They kind of go together, where all throughout our life, where we didn't understand about being present or any of these teachings, wasn't modeled to us for most of us, our system had to find some coping mechanism to survive in this world, which can be really harsh. And that coping mechanism was to contract and to shove down and to avoid feeling, to come out of the body, seeking pleasure and avoidance in substances, all kinds of things. Humans are masters at this. We really got great at it. So when we open to these teachings through meditation and through being, that whole contracted state starts to unwind in the presence of higher consciousness. And it happens by itself. So you don't need to do anything, but you must have the willingness to feel it and to stay present with it as it comes up, which you clearly do. So that's wonderful. So when you're feeling these sensations in the heart and the tears are coming, what a lot of people experience is a thought saying, well, what's going on? I'm meditating. I'm supposed to be feeling bliss and peace. And I'm not feeling that. This feels really murky. This feels horrible, in fact. Maybe I should give up the meditation. No, your meditation's working. It's cleansing the system. And as you just stay open and allow it, the purging happens. So often it feels like waves are coming. There'll be a wave of density or contraction, and you open to it and you'll feel it release through tears, through laughter, through the body shaking, or jolting, or feeling hot or cold. Many different ways that the system processes it. And you'll start to feel how your body is processing the energies, and you'll start to become more in tune with what's happening when we just stay as this open space. Then as the unwinding is happening, the insights just arise, and often there'll be a seeing of where the contraction came from, but it's not necessary or needed. Or there'll be an insight of what's happening. And you just allow it all to unfold. And this is the most wonderful, healthily addictive thing that one could experience in life. And I know what you mean. I had that same feeling where I just wasn't interested in anything else, only this. And I would just lie down on my bed and just love feeling the sensations and the aliveness within, and the magic of witnessing the body healing itself without any effort.
Wow, thank you so much. That really means so much to me. Yeah, because I haven't had that reflection. It's just something that I'm noticing. I mean, it's early days, you know, how I don't, there's no ending. I'm just going with it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's important to remember that there is no end, because the mind sometimes can jump in and then want to get to that end point when all the trauma is released, and then I've made it, then I've got there in spiritual terms, then I'm enlightened. But that's not what it means to be enlightened or awakened. What it means is to recognize that the temporary and changing forms are not who I am. I'm this awareness that's witnessing them. And the body, the energy, the mind, it can't be perfected. The nature of it is imperfection. And so we stop seeking perfection in that and discover the perfection that's already here in the formless. And just abiding as that allows for the healing to take place. And I haven't found an end to it. I still experience energies coming up, traumas coming up, mind comes, but it's not a problem anymore. It's just allowed. The process just continues, the unfolding continues.
And then I'm getting all, I'm getting stuff that's happening. I can't shut myself off from my family or some people or events. So there's always challenges, however reclusive I am, it's still happening.
Yes.
To trigger more stuff.
Yeah. And that's great that you see that the challenge is life supporting you on your journey, because every time we're triggered, then it means there's something for me to see here. There's an opportunity for a healing, for a releasing, to see where the mind is identified with a position or where there's an emotion that hasn't been processed. So if you truly want to accelerate on this path, then you will pray, life, please bring me the challenges, show me everything. I want it all.
I'm not sure I'm quite as enthusiastic as you. I'd like to think I have a bit, but it's been a roller coaster. Oh my God, and I can't say I always say thank you. You said to somebody, just thank for everything, even the difficult things. Oh, I'm not quite there yet. No, I'm sort of like feeling what you're saying. It's like, it makes sense. But
you're on the right track for sure. Once you start to see how when someone in your family is being annoying and they're triggering you, and then you see that it's actually triggering a childhood pain, and you take the time to surrender to it and it releases, then there's a seeing that, wow, if this hadn't happened, this energy wouldn't have been able to release. And that's what I want most of all, for these energies to integrate and release. Or something else happens in life and the mind argues, that shouldn't have happened, that's wrong. And then in the moment we recognize, wow, my mind is trying to control, manipulate reality. And in that instant, there's a disidentification from that mind pattern. And then there's a seeing, wow, if this hadn't happened, then this seeing of how the ego is still trying to hold on wouldn't be here. I've actually become more conscious because of the challenges. And it's very humbling.
Absolutely. One of my main things is, or has been, wanting everybody to love me, or not everybody, well, probably everybody, wanting people to love me. And then something happens, I think, no, I'm not consciously thinking they don't, but it's, I'm being a bit rejected, or, my daughter's a bit fed up with me or whatever. That I find that's one of the most challenging, but also liberating possible things that's going on.
Yeah, you're not alone. That is one of the most common feelings that we become aware of, that exists inside of us. And if it's unconscious, then it acts out unconsciously by trying to manipulate people or control people into loving us, or by trying to project externally a self-image that we perceive as lovable. So if you just look at Instagram, it's like a huge magnification of this egoic pattern in humanity of presenting a self-image to the world of how I want to be perceived, so that I will be loved and I'll feel I have worth. And underlying that is the unconscious feeling that I'm not lovable, I don't have worth. So to become aware of that, to become conscious of that, it's like a milestone in our spiritual awakening. And once we become conscious of it, then, and often this is a feeling that it's got deep roots inside of us, because it goes right back to our childhood for most of us, because our parents didn't have the capacity for unconditional love, and we recognized it, And our mind as a child interpreted their behavior as rejection and feeling they mustn't love me because I'm not worthy of love. But actually what was happening is our parents just weren't capable of unconditional love. They didn't know it. So it goes very deep. And when we're aware of it, we have the opportunity to be present with and consciously feel that pain in the system. And to see the thoughts, the thought forms, which are an expression of that pain. So it's like the pain itself produces thoughts. They don't like me. She doesn't want me. She doesn't love me. And as we become more conscious, we see the thoughts, and there's space between me, awareness, and the thought forms. And this is the beginning of the untangling and the disidentification from that me, which is the separate self, the conceptual self, and me, the true self. And this is where the shift in identity starts to take place, where I'm no longer believing myself to be the one that's unlovable. I am awareness, and my nature is unconditional love. I am love. And this love holds the sensations in the body, which are interpreted by the mind as unlovable. And as we feel it, we're deeply present with it, and it can be uncomfortable and painful, but we stay with it, we open up to it, and that whole pattern releases from our system. It integrates with time. It's okay.
I feel I've got quite a way to go with that. I'm feeling, a lot of the pain and rejection sometimes. I mean, it's one of the most painful things. Of course it is, abandonment. Yeah. And then I sometimes can really bring in the love. I can just feel it, and I can sense it, and it's quite strong sometimes. It's almost like this sort of battle or struggle.
Yes.
It's quite a battle, but no, you're not lovable. Yes, you're loved. No, you're not, and this kind of dance with those two parts.
Yes. So when you see the battle happening, take a step back from the battle and don't identify as the one that's saying you're lovable, you are lovable, nor the one that says I'm not lovable, because it's the same mind. It's showing you two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So we transcend that by seeing I'm aware of this battle, and this awareness is not a thought. It's a stillness.
And would you say that stillness and awareness is also unconditional love?
Yes, the nature of it is unconditional love. Yes. Yeah. And that's the love that you are.